Welcome back. You're going to love spaghetti pizza, and it's very easy to make. 4 egg whites, and the reason why we are only using the egg whites and I eliminated the yolks is because the yolks are where all the cholesterol is, okay? And you still get lots of great source of protein here. Then a half a cup of skim milk and 1 cup of fat-free mozzarella shredded cheese. Now, if you don't like fat-free cheeses, I want you to know I don't usually either when they're by themselves. But they taste delicious in my recipes, and the reason why is because the fat-free shredded cheddar cheese is going to absorb the moisture from the milk and the eggs, so it will not taste rubbery like a lot of fat-free cheeses can. Okay? So go ahead and add your milk, your cheese, and your egg whites, and we're going to beat that together. Here we go. Now this meal is an excellent source of protein, and with the egg whites and the protein from the cheese and the milk, with the carbohydrates from the pasta, you have a great carbohydrate protein combination that's wonderful, like for diabetics, people like that. And once we have that well blended, we want to make sure that the whites are very well blended. Let it settle and see how there's a little bit white there. You need to break that up, okay? Because the whites is what's going to help hold this together. And yes, this is going to become the bottom of our pizza. My children and I love Italian food. But for a long time I thought I couldn't eat it because it was so fattening. But now I've converted a lot of my recipes to low fat, and they are absolutely delicious. If you don't tell people that they're low fat, they'll never know. Just let them love it, okay? 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now the reason why I'm using garlic powder instead of garlic salt is to lower the sodium. Stroke victims, heart attack victims, okay? And then you can add, if you would like to, a half a teaspoon of light salt. That's optional. And I'm going to go ahead and pass and not even use it today, okay? Now we had the 1 pound of spaghetti that I already pre-cooked, and I had it draining here. There you go. And we're going to stir this together. Spaghetti is one of those foods that everybody loves. I don't know anybody who doesn't like spaghetti, do you? And simply stir it together, and the eggs and the milk and the cheese together was going to make a great base for our spaghetti pizza. Oh man, this is a great meal that you can make a day ahead of time. And once you pre-cook the base, like we're going to do now, you could go ahead and put it in the refrigerator with the toppings on, and then just wait if you want to make it tomorrow or next week, or you could even freeze it and then cook it accordingly when you're all done, once you have the toppings on, okay? But right now, we're going to make everything together. This takes a little bit of time. It's very important that you get that egg and milk mixed in with the spaghetti. Don't think this is something you can do quickly, because the egg and the cheese is what's going to hold this all together, okay? It's going to be a nice crust. Isn't this a creative idea? Okay? So, oh, you can smell the garlic powder. It smells so good. And wait till we bake it. Oh man. And like I was saying, if you do Weight Watchers and things like this, all the recipes in the Busy People's Low Fat Cookbook series are great to use, because we also include the fibers, which I didn't used to do years ago, but when we went to print again, we included the fibers. There we go. So see, there's a little bit chunk of cheese there. I'm going to spread that out. And notice how I have all the, there we go, all of the eggs and milk and everything put together. This is good to the last drop. We don't want to miss any of that. There you go. Now we are simply going to put this in the oven. Now what I'm going to do, we're going to put this in the oven, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to press it down to help it set more, okay? And then we'll bake it at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. This will be a nice solid base. All we're going to need to do is put a salad with this meal, and we have a complete meal with protein and carbohydrates. It's going to be absolutely delicious. Let me go wash off my hands. Anybody who's seen Cooking for Busy People knows that my favorite tool to use are my hands. There we go. Let's put that in the top oven. at 350 degrees. Now make sure when you put your things in the oven, a lot of times people put them on the side of the oven, and what happens is you'll burn. If you find a lot of your time your food burns, maybe you're touching the side of the oven, so make sure it's centered in the middle, okay? Another thing is make sure your rack is in the middle. A lot of times it's too high or too low. Try to put it in the middle rack. Make sure your rack is centered. Okay, let's come on over here to the sauce. Now, with the spaghetti toppings for the sauce, I went ahead and took some shortcuts. And one of the shortcuts I did was I let the manufacturers help me with the spaghetti sauce. If you have your own favorite homemade spaghetti sauce, go ahead and use it. Use 32-ounce jar. I love the Healthy Choice brand because it only has 50 calories for a half a cup. Ragu has a wonderful brand also, the Ragu Light, okay? Now, you'll be surprised. There are some brands out there that don't say light or low fat, but they really are. They'll have less than 3 grams of fat. Now, to me, I just don't want to waste my calories on spaghetti sauce. No, thank you. We'll save that for dessert, right? And we're going to add a half a teaspoon of oregano. Just a half teaspoon. This is 1 teaspoon, so I'll use half of this. There we go. And we will stir that together. Let me get another wooden spoon. Simply stir that together. And I think by now the crust of our spaghetti pizza should be done. I'm going to move everything over here so that way the hot pan will not hurt my countertop. Here we go. Ooh, mamma mia! Doesn't that look delicious? Look at the cheese, and oh, this is absolutely delicious. You're going to love it as much as my family does. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the sauce that we have prepared on the base. Isn't this hard to believe that this is low fat? Oh man. I think when God said train your children the way they should go, I believe it's not only about spiritual things, but physical things and how we treat our bodies. Our bodies are a temple of God, and we should be eating healthy. And wouldn't it be so much easier if we were raised to eat healthy foods like this? If you don't tell people it's low fat, they're never going to know. Now, we're going to add 3 cups of fat-free mozzarella shredded cheddar or mozzarella cheese. Okay? Now, the cheese is going to absorb the moisture from the spaghetti sauce, so it will not be rubbery. Where if you put a cheese on the fat-free cheese, a lot of times on a casserole, it doesn't have moisture. A lot of times it will get rubbery, but it won't in this recipe because it's going to be absorbing the moisture from the spaghetti sauce. Then you can use 3 cups of your favorite pizza toppings, but don't use pepperoni. Or if you do, if you like pepperoni, I'll tell you what. Take the pepperoni and then chop it up in little bits because then it will go farther, okay? So we're going to just sprinkle our onions and mushrooms and green peppers on top. We'll pop it back into the oven, and we're going to bake it again at 350 degrees for about 10 more minutes until the top's nicely brown. Oh, this is so good. Look at this delicious spaghetti pizza. Make sure you join me. We'll have the complete meal done, and you can enjoy too. I'm just getting out the delicious, spicy, spaghetti pizza. This baby is heavy, and it is delicious. You're not going to believe it. There's only 10 servings in this, and, let me turn it off, and only 1 gram of fat per serving. Isn't that hard to believe? And all the recipes are in down-home cooking without the down-home fat for busy people. Oh, man. Isn't this beautiful? And I thought with Italian red and white check would be really cute. The entire meal has less than 400 calories. That's counting the blue cheese dressing, the spaghetti pizza, and the biscuits. Does it seem too good to be true? It's not. Thanks for joining me, Dawn Hall, Cooking for Busy People. Now I want to encourage you, keep your hopes high, your fats low, and please, never be too busy to enjoy. God bless. I'll see you next week.